Significant role that they absolutely play. And when we come to the forecast and talk about that, we want to know, when should we walk our dogs so it's not too hot for their paws?
When should we walk the kids so we get them out of the house?
Yeah, the last few days or even the last couple of weeks here in Southern California, it's been fantastic dog walking weather, either in the morning or the afternoon or the evening, because it hasn't been too hot or too cool here in Southern California. Look how beautiful that shot is. That's our next weather sky cam. That's Malibu. So I'm going to show you our current conditions. We've been trending cooler than normal for at least 2 weeks now here in Southern California, but we've had a lot of the clouds as we wake up. This morning, really patchy, so that's why it feels a little bit chillier. We don't have the clouds to insulate the heat, so this is why we're waking up to those 50s in areas like Malibu and downtown LA, 55 for Pasadena, 53 for Corona, and 61 for the San Bernardino area. Here is a look at what is happening with our weather conditions, because as I mentioned, we've been quiet, we've been cool, we have the patchy clouds, we had that sunshine early on this morning. We also have a stronger sea breeze, so this all adds up to more of those below average temperatures again. Then we're looking at temperatures slowly warming up as we head into Sunday, finally, because we're watching a high pressure system sitting out to the east, really starting to push into our area. But before we get there, on this Friday, we're going to see some clouds, some high clouds drifting up above this morning, and then we have more of the patchy low clouds and fog, especially for a lot of our coastal communities. Okay, so here's a look. I want to show you what's happening with our temperatures, because as I mentioned, we have been trending cooler. So I just want to show you the average. Yesterday, we went up just a little bit. This afternoon, we're looking at temperatures sitting again below average for the LAX area, where we are looking at temperatures topping out in the low 70s. Usually this time of year, we should actually be a little bit warmer than that, in the mid 70s. And then for downtown LA, we normally should be in the low 80s, but we're looking at a high of 78. And then we're also looking at temperatures, especially for the Burbank area, just a few miles inland from downtown LA, topping out at 80 degrees. It's going to be nice. It's going to be sunny, but normally this time of year, we should be in the high 80s. All right, so I want to show you really quickly what happens as we head into our hour-by-hour forecast, especially for a lot of our beach communities. So the beaches, you're going to continue to see some patchy clouds here and there for the next few hours before you get into the 70s. So by 10 a.m., you're going to top out at about 68 degrees. Here is a look at the rest of Southern California. So 78 today for Fullerton, where we have temperatures normally should be in the 80s. And then in Ontario, we're only looking at a high today about 85 degrees, or 84 degrees that is. And normally we should be in the mid 90s. And then for John Wayne Airport, we're also looking at temperatures sitting slightly below average, 75. Normally we should be about 80 degrees. So overall, it is definitely a much cooler type of day, but we'll take it because we're still going to see some sunshine. And then here's a look at the rest of Southern California. So we are looking at Orange County before we even get into the 70s or 80s. We're going to stay nice and mild for the rest of the morning. Temperatures topping out mid to upper 60s. And then for San Bernardino, before we get into the 80s, we're looking at those 70s arriving as early as 9 a.m. And then by 10 a.m., we're slowly warming up. And then it's a second half of the day that's going to fare out a little better, a little drier, but it's not going to be as hot as where we should be this time of year. But the good news is that finally we get into our temperatures where we're actually going to see temperatures hitting closer to normal by the start of next week. And then by the time we head into the middle end of next week, that's when those temperatures get into the above average territory. So upper 70s for the next few days for LA and Orange County. The next week 80s, mid 80s today for the valleys. And then by the time we head into next week, we're looking at those mid 90s. Back to you.
All right, Amber, thank you. Let's take a look at our Friday morning ride right now. It is pretty light in most places. However, I do have an issue on the 105 this morning that is slowing you down. As you take a look at the map this morning, eastbound 105 at Bellflower Boulevard, the left lane is blocked off. This is a look at KCAL, though. It looks like they're in the process of clearing things up, but you can also see drivers slowing down as they're trying to avoid that stalled out car. So give yourself a little extra time regardless. That 105 has been slow in general. The westbound side, now we have an eastbound delay of just about 8 minutes from the 710 over to Bellflower. You could take the 91 to get around it. Also a crash 110 south at Florence, left lane blocked off. There is a crash there as well. And then you can see that there's a little bit of a delay as you head on through South LA this morning.
Now you can get your KCAL news, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.